Hey everybody, what's up? It's Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. We would hold the truth hostage. Full-time ghosting isn't an option, it's the only choice. Full-time ghost. Now this is another Black Pill 4.0 video, and this Black Pill 4.0 video will basically cover Gen Z. Gen Z, the future of Gen Z's sexuality. And, this was a request. And, this is another Black Pill 4.0 prophecy. Now, I've covered this on some, this ain't Gen Z. This is Gen Alpha. My apologies. This is Gen Alpha. Now, I've covered Gen Z, and I've talked about Gen Alpha a little, but I'm not 100% sure, because I know I have a stream about Gen Z. I think I have a stream on there, so you can watch that. I go in far longer detail, but to keep this quick and simple, this is Black Pill 4.0. Let me repeat that, Black Pill 4.0. Now, when it comes to Gen Alpha, when people are asking, well, what is the future of Gen Alpha? Gen Alpha sexuality, Gen Alpha's future? Well, now, I think some of the Trump presidency will play a role in it. And, also AI technology will play a role. But before I get into that, let me just explain something. Gen Alpha is going through something that Gen Z didn't have to worry about, us millennials didn't have to worry about, and Gen X didn't have to worry about. And what I'm trying to say is that Gen Alpha, what they're basically doing, the school system, the government, corporations, everything, what they're basically doing is Gen Alpha is the generation where they say this generation should not have a choice when it comes to remaining heterosexual. They should not have a choice to remain heterosexual. This is what Gen Alpha will face, unlike every generation before. Like Gen Z, they were exposed. They were exposed somewhat to, somewhat to homosexuality when they were too young. But more, Gen Z was mostly exposed to feminization, as in turning men soft, giving them awards for trying, and so on. So Gen Z was more of they had a chance. They had a chance to stay straight. Gen Z had a chance. Gen Alpha, they don't want Gen Alpha to have any chance. No chances for Gen Alpha to remain heterosexual. That's the plan. And you could see this. I was on X, Twitter, and they had drag queens. They had man-formers, as I call them, man-formers, twerking in front of children. You know what I'm saying? Inviting those kids into, twerking in front of kids, man. Then you got the marches where they're openly inviting children, young boys, and you could look into the amount of cases that have been found where a lot of these man-formers and a lot of these some high profile or low profile gay men have been basically found to be sex trafficking their sons and their adopted kids, because a lot of people don't want to admit. And this is where the Black Pill 4.0. Remember, like I've always been telling guys, the black pill in its purest form is looking at society from a mathematical, no emotion, no idealism. Just look at it for what it is and try to understand it. Looking at things from a mathematical and scientific perspective, Black Pill 4.0. And if you look at it for what it is, man, one thing that's never brought up is that let's say a gay man adopts a boy. He adopts a boy. That's not his son. You know what I'm saying? That's not his son. That's not by blood. So there's already a detachment there. That's one thing they never bring up is us men are naturally detached. If that ain't our blood, that ain't our seed, family, there's no blood ties, we're naturally unattached. So to be surprised that these men would adopt a child, then sex traffic it, you know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be a shocker there, especially in the sickness of the society that's trying to have it basically deemed abnormal for you to be heterosexual, even though 100% of us humans that have been born were through heterosexual activity. You know what I'm saying? So the goal, and as I was saying, is that you shouldn't be shocked. You should not be surprised that some guy that's a man former, some guy that's a man former, a guy that's transitioning adopts young boys and sex traffics them, or basically, commits, pedophilia on them young boys. Because what the government has done in the loophole, and I've been predicting this, I've been telling guys, man, a lot of people ask me questions. Oh, hold the truth hostage. What's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on that? Bro, look at this channel, man. You can look at the back catalog, bro. I've talked about everything. Now, with the Black Pill 4.0, I'm going to go deeper somewhat, But the thing is, I've talked about, the fate of Gen Z, Gen Alpha. You name it, search this channel, man. Search it. You know what I'm saying? You could even watch random streams, man. You should know me by now. A stream could be about, getting married. Then I'll just be talking about, how being a father affects the children. Then how society's moving. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Out of respect. If you got respect for me, man, watch the old catalog. You know what I'm saying? You got respect, watch the old catalog. The reason is you could watch it and come back to me and say, yo, man, I watched this stream. I got a question for this and that. Then I can bounce back with you. And we're playing mental ping pong. You got a question, I got a reply. I got a reply, you might have another question, or you might lead to me learning something. I don't know. But check the back catalog, man. But like I was saying, it should not be surprising. The loophole to being a pedophile now in America, in the West, Americanized country, the loophole is to identify as a man former. To identify as a man former, transitioning, then you can adopt a child. You can adopt the child and psychologically destroy that child. I mean, there's photos of a man who's transitioned, adopt a child. Like I was saying, there is footage. There is footage of a man, with a baby. I don't know if the baby's a boy or a girl, sleeping on his chest from the hospital, and he's a man former. A man former, what I'm saying, just has a baby on his chest. You know what I'm saying? This is the loophole. If a grown man was doing that and he wasn't transitioning, what you think would have happened? They would have said this is pedophilia. This is a fetish. You know what I'm saying? But because that man is transitioning, he can basically adopt a child and pretend to be a pregnant woman and psychologically traumatize this boy. You know what I'm saying? And girl, whatever. Psychologically traumatize them. You know what I'm saying? Gen Alpha, the way Gen Alpha's growing up. I mean, you gotta understand. Gen Alpha, man. Gen Alpha's the generation where they have no choice. they're pushing for the no choice for Gen Alpha to basically be transitioning to basically be homosexual. That's the narrative. You got schools bringing in drag queens by surprise. You got schools putting books promoting, you know what I'm saying? There was a book, I think I saw one where they had a kid's book about parents being swingers. You got books about sexuality being pushed on kids that are in kindergarten, preschool. You know what I'm saying? Their goal with Gen Alpha is that Gen Alpha should not have a chance. No chance towards heterosexuality at all. Gen Alpha should have no chance. That's what the schools are pushing. And like I've been telling people, read the book, man. Where's my baby? Where is it? God dang it. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, man. You know what I mean? Read the book, man. Man Vantage. Man Vantage. Read the book, bro. I wrote the book. You know what I'm saying? Show some support to your boy, man. Read Man Vantage and you'll know the government is not a government. It's the Godverment. And the government is desperate for more female or alternative male votes. They want more votes that challenge the heterosexual male that wants to be in the household, wants a family unit, stability. The Godverment is against male provided stability. You know what I'm saying? Read the book, bro. Read the book, man. Man Vantage. You know what I'm saying? It's on Amazon Prime. You could read it for free on Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? Like, I wrote it, man. It's only how many pages is it? Give me a minute. It's only 67 pages, man. 67 pages, and I fill in information that no one's gonna tell you. I wrote this book, man. Man Vantage. I wrote it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Check out the book, man. Shout out to some of the homies that supported it, chopped it up. But even if you read it, man, share your thoughts on a chapter. You know what I'm saying? This is the problem I have, man. I understand not everybody's gonna be as open. Not everybody's gonna be willing to talk like this. Some people will be on their avatars, comments. So I understand. I respect that. But at least if you read the book, man, just leave a comment. You could comment on a video on the YouTube. I don't ask guys to show their face and all that closeted activity. But at least let me know, I read this chapter. Here's my thoughts. Share it, man. You sharing these thoughts, it breaks the narrative that, Hold the Truth hostage is basically in what they call that thing, echo chamber. Not only is Hold the Truth hostage in an echo chamber, Hold the Truth hostage is like a dictator. You know what I'm saying? He's a dictator in this chamber where only he's allowed to talk. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wrote the book. I remember seeing and buying MD's book on the black pill and so on. And I was like, yeah, man, he's doing the right thing. Write a book. You got to write a book, because if all your stuff and your content on YouTube disappears, you're striked out or whatever, at least your book will have it. And also having a book will prove that, you can articulate your words into, written language and so on. So, man, reply, man. Leave a comment about a chapter of Man Vantage. Get the book. It's on Amazon Prime, man. Get the book, bro. But like I was saying, Gen Alpha, their goal is Gen Alpha will have they don't want Gen Alpha to have any opportunity to be heterosexual. There are laws in place. I think California, I've mentioned this in live streams, has a law where if your child comes home and speaks about they think they're a different gender or whatever, if you don't comply and accept that and a child contacts the school, they will take your children away. And this law was put in place by a mentally ill person who wrote it into law. Of course, a man former. A man former. Of course, it was a man former. You know what I'm saying? And put in law in California, you know? And then, like I was saying, you know, they're attacking your children. They had drag queens come read to children. Drag queens, they had man formers in costume looking demonic because they don't want these children. They realize with Gen Z, they realize the flaw of Gen Z where they failed. Their failed execution was they were going after Gen Z around 8th grade to about high school. That's too late. They have a taste of establishing who they are. That's too late. You know what I'm saying? That's where they failed with Gen Z. You know what I'm saying? They've learned, and with Gen Alpha, they want to expose these children confusion before these children even have an awareness and grow up to a point in their age where they can understand or experience, what is that thing? Damn, I forget when we were young as boys. I think it's called your balls dropped or something. You know, when you mature, you know what I'm saying? So the thing you gotta understand is that, man, they don't want Gen Alpha to have any chances. This is why you have, drag queens. They've drag queens snuck books into the school. You could look up a case where school was giving a girl or a boy sexual suppressors, hormone therapy, without telling the parents. You know what I'm saying? Without telling the parents, they were giving that child homotherapy. You know what I'm saying? Hormone therapy. Gen Alpha, that is the generation where they deem that generation has no choice. Has no choice but to become mentally ill, become a man former. You know what I'm saying? If a Gen Alpha says your daughter is Gen Alpha, dresses like a tomboy because she's growing up around a bunch of boys in her family. You know, she's the only daughter, so she plays rough with her brothers. She's a tomboy. If the school sees her dressed this way, guess what? They're going to say, well, that child's having sexual confusion and needs to transition. You know what I'm saying? Gen Alpha will be the generation where, and I said this on a stream, they will be lucky. They will be lucky to come out of high school and be heterosexual. You know what I'm saying? They will be lucky. You know what I mean? With how much they've been exposed to. That tells them that, being heterosexual is abnormal. It's weird. It's strange. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Gen Alpha will be lucky. Even though the man formers are less than 1% of the population. Less than 1%. Less than a whole percent. That's what they are. They're a 0.5%. You know what I'm saying? They're less than 0.5% of the United States population. But the goal is to, as you've seen with the 2010s, especially 2020s, the goal is to basically make it seem that the, homosexual community is as big, if not bigger, than the heterosexual community by overinflating advertisement and money. I mean, notice how on Men's Mental Health Month, June, it is June, right? Same day as Pride. You know what I'm saying? Same month as Father's Day, they put the Pride Month. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the narrative. Your fathers, in the eyes of the government, the eyes of the corporations, your fathers mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? They mean nothing. That's why they put the whole month on Father's Day. Why wasn't Pride's Month on March, Women's History Month? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't it on that? Or what is after March? My brain is just kind of melting right now. February, March, April. Yeah, why wasn't Pride Month on April? You know what I'm saying? April, May. Why wasn't it that? They made sure it was the month of Father's Day. They made sure. You know what I'm saying? So Gen Alpha, and you gotta look at us. You know, Gen Z was overexposed with feminization to turn Gen Z to basically over feminize men that will call other men sexist, misogynist. You know what I'm saying? They're over feminized. You know what I mean? And near in the closet as well. You know, near closet activity. Because the thing about Gen Z is this: the older Gen Z that experienced they were close enough to be near the millennials. I remember what did Pars call it? Yeah, he called it a zillennial. A zillennial, which is a Gen Z that's very close to millennials. They grew up around where I think us millennials, when we were growing up, it had to do with a lot of trying to drug us, get us on drugs for being hyper, over energetic, depression medicine. I think us millennials were the medicated generation. You know what I'm saying? Us millennials were medicated, you know, highly medicated. Our generation was all about drugging us up. I think Gen X was nearly medicated, but I think Gen X was more about I think Gen X was more about mental abuse. You know, always being reminded that they're always being told that they're not the greatest generation. You know what I'm saying? The baby boomers is the greatest generation. I think Gen X was more mental destruction. Of course, we know the family structure was being destroyed. More about family destruction with Gen X. You know what I'm saying? The destruction of the family, you know, the family court coming closer, you know, it was more about that type of destruction. You could correct me if I'm wrong, you know. But Gen Alpha, I said Gen Alpha will basically be the generation where they will be lucky to survive, lucky to come out heterosexual. They'll be lucky to come out heterosexual. As for Gen Beta, you know, the beta generation, well, that might be an even worse monster. Now, where this could change, and I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this, where this could change is the Trump presidency. If Trump wins the next presidency, there might be a major change to this path. Not that I think it'll be a lot, because when Trump was president, you know what I'm saying, we still had no laws were being changed to protect the family from the family court, corporate intrusion, and so on. So, you know, even though Trump was president, you know, did he change the family court? You know, what did he change when it came to a family court and so on? So I don't exactly know, but I think because Trump is attracting so many hot-blooded 1980s, 1990s Americans that want to wave the flag, you know what I'm saying, shoot their gun in the sky. You know what I'm saying? There's a chance that Trump might usher in the second coming of at least probably late 90s America. You know what I'm saying? Maybe late 90s America, Trump might bring that back. Now, I'll spend more time on this when I make the Black Pill 4.0 AI, but AI also has a big effect on this as well, because what's happening right now is that AI, you could look it up. There's Runway AI. Look up Runway with Gen 3. There's Luminous AI. Look up AI video generation. Look up the Sora, because the reason AI is going to play a pivotal role is that AI will allow a lot of straight heterosexual men to produce films and produce content without the need of Hollywood and major corporations. So AI video and AI technology will play a major role in returning the heterosexual male into the most dominant entertainment force. Because with AI, you don't gotta worry about a studio, film studio. You don't gotta worry about an actor that's an extreme leftist, an actor that's a minor chaser, actors saying trans kids and all that. No, you don't gotta worry about none of that. AI, you can literally create your actor and so on. So AI technology will play a major role in the fate of Gen Alpha. You know what I'm saying? The fate of Gen Alpha and Gen Beta as well. In turning the clock, it will play a major role in that because if heterosexual men can produce content at great quality, they can basically cancel out the corporate narrative that's being pushed out. And we've seen it with the Haktua girl. It's a woman bragging about, spitting on a man's privates, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That blew up the internet, and it exposes that, yes, no matter how much all these social media sites that are owned by leftists, your Facebooks, your YouTubes, your Instagrams, and all of them, the number one consumer and the number one factor in the nation is the heterosexual American. You know what I'm saying? So AI, I'll be making an AI, Black Pill 4.0 AI video very soon. But AI is much, and don't listen to that BS. Oh, AI is gonna take away our freedom and creativity. We don't have freedom and creativity. Weren't you alive during the 2010s where they literally fired a lot of heterosexual men, replaced all the male characters with females to feminize the men? They want men to fantasize strength, pretending to be women. Come on, man. AI will basically revert the damage that was done in the 2010s to about 2020s. Once AI can literally create films, comic books, novels, it can create novels. I'm using a lot of AI assisted tools to write my novels a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? But once AI can generate comic books, can generate film, video games, when it can do everything, there will be no power. There will be no power from all these corporations, your Hollywoods and all of them. They will have no power. You know what I'm saying? I've done a video. You could look up this video, and this is why I tell guys I'm over. At this point, I'm over 1,000 years ahead. I'm over 1,000 years ahead. I will never say I'm less than 1,000 years ahead again. I'm not 5 years ahead. I'm not a year. I'm not before my time. I'm over 1,000 years ahead. If you look up that video I made called YouTubers Destroyed Nostalgia, watch it. You know what I'm saying? We're in the age of content creation. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, all these websites, even though they're owned by the leftists and so on, they want people to stick to their websites. So they're giving them all this power to basically create content. You know what I'm saying? Create content. And the age of the content creator will finally peak when AI empowers the content creator. But this has been hold the truth hostage. Yeah, but this has been hold the truth hostage. Where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. We would hold the truth hostage. Full-time ghosting isn't an option. It's the only choice. Full-time ghost.